out to understand the platform better, to understand trading strategies better, and you'll see that that's really how Currency House differs from any sort of other online trading platform, is the extent to which we offer our clients and ultimately try to make you guys the best possible traders that we can. So, but like I said, you're on the right path right now. You're attending a webinar. That is exactly how you combat risk. So let's get right into it and get you guys well on your way to becoming pro traders. So for the agenda today, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to get started on the platform, essentially just logging on to the platform. Very, very simple. Then we're going to focus the majority of the time on actually setting up a trade in the system. Obviously, the most important thing to do in the system, so that's what we're going to focus on. There are different platforms of the system, such as social trading, binary trading, and just regular trading. We do sometimes focus on all three of them in these introductory-based webinars. However, we wanted to make this session a little bit more focused on actually performing a trade, not binary, not social. We will show you guys how to access each side, and we do have YouTube clips of individuals trading on the binary systems and social systems, also clips of webinars too. So please feel free to check those guys out after. If there is any request for a certain video, just drop a line in the chat box on your screen there. I'm more than happy to oblige. So then we're going to go over identifying trends in the market, what we call kind of consolidations essentially in the market, and certain uptrends or downtrends. That's really how we can take advantage of market swings, and also notifying us essentially when big news releases are going to come out or there's a heavy economic docket for the week. We're going to be going over that as well, and essentially what that looks like in terms of overall market sentiment. And then we're going to go over setting up stops and losses, how to do that in the system, how to do that when you set up one. It's a bit lost on new traders, but it's so important if you want to minimize your risk and ultimately maximize the amount of profit that you're making on every trade. And then we're going to show how to set up buy and sell limits, which is also very fantastic. A little difficult to grasp your head around the first time, but that's what the demo accounts are here for, to ultimately try out some strategies that you guys have learned. And then finally, we're going to get into essentially a classroom that we have available for some traders, and we're going to go over kind of what that is, when it starts, more or less, just so if you guys want further education, there always is that method of doing it. So let's get going. So getting started, as soon as you log into the platform, this is virtually the screen that you're probably going to see. When you log into for the first time, you will have a few windows pop up at you, prompting you to change the password, agreeing you to see some YouTube videos, that kind of thing. But generally, once that's all done and said for, this is the screen you're going to see. So this is the main overall Forex screen, we call it, where you perform the regular trades you would on any sort of online system or online broker system out there. It is the X Open Hub system, which is why we're using it, is extremely state-of-the-art. There's a lot of different features and functions that we have on it that other platforms don't offer. Our stop loss and take profit feature is absolutely incredible. It's totally guaranteed right away, as well as the feature to make it change is also very easy. There's no need to plug in certain figures. It's just a drag and drop system, which is totally unique. On the other side of it, we do offer certain platforms as well, which I stated in the intro. So the Forex side, you can see on the left-hand side of my screen here. Let me get up Spotlight. So you see on the left-hand side of the screen here where this red marker is, that's essentially where all the different sides of the platform are. It's multi-layered in essence. So we're on the Forex layer right now, which is this main Forex screen. If we were to press the social, the X social, we would go on an entirely different screen. That's where we follow players and rank players currently in the system. A very cool feature. It's also unique to the X platform, and it allows you to essentially follow traders, mimic their moves, so it saves you a lot of time and can ultimately make you a lot of money. Options is the binary section, great for beginners looking to just get their feet wet with a few trades before they actually jump on the Forex side. Binary options are so popular all around the world. Millions of people do it, and it's no different than our platform. We do have webinars especially designed for individuals that want to stay on binary options, but the option to do it is always there, so just click on that left side if you ever want to go there. So let's keep moving on. The store is the final one. That's essentially where you can just purchase different applications, trading bots, that type of thing. We won't be going over that in today's session. So let's keep going, guys. So like I said, options menu, that's where all you'll be able to find your different levels of the platform. It's very simple. It's just a zoomed in side of the left-hand screen here. If you're ever lost or confused, just know that you can always scroll over your cursor to the left-hand side of the screen and just click on whatever you need. If you want to get out of the Forex and go to options, it's way more simple. Just do that. If you want to follow a player, you can go to social. And if you want to check out our store, just click on that. It's very, very simple, guys. Okay, so placing trades. So this is essentially what a trade looks like on our system. If you guys, hopefully, maybe some of you will be able to guess what we've done here just by looking at the chart. This was actually placed a couple days ago. There's been some crazy movement in Euro USD, which this is what the chart is indicating right here. On a very, very simple level, let's bring this back to absolute basics. What is Euro USD currently? So Euro USD is the amount of, essentially the amount of US dollars you would need to purchase a single euro. So very, very simple. Whenever you want to evaluate what's being judged on the right-hand side of the scale here, it's always the right-hand measurement. So how many dollars will it take to purchase a euro? Right now, currently trending, this isn't up to date right now. This is on March 17th at 9:15. It was $1.059, which is extremely low, obviously, but that's what it takes to buy a single euro. So that's essentially what the market is showing. It's showing the current market price for a currency when you're comparing it to another currency, right? Currencies always have to be compared against each other. That's how you find the moving average and the buying and sell limit. So this chart measures Euro USD. So we measured and we saw a certain trend prevailing here in the system, and we decided to take advantage of it. We're going to get back to it in just a second after we go over trends and consolidation, and hopefully it makes a little bit more sense. But what we did here is we created a short position. So that's that little orange line right here, that vertical line. We created a short position, meaning that we sold. We didn't just buy, we sold it. So we went short. When you go short on something, you're ultimately predicting that it's going to be going down in value in the near future. If you buy something, you're predicting that it's going to be going up. That's taking a long position on a trade. So when you buy, you're obviously predicting it's going to go up because you're going to be selling it when it's higher, meaning profit. Going short in a position is differently. You essentially make a promise to purchase in which you are going to sell at a later point, thus allowing it to make profit as it goes down in value. It's a little bit tricky to kind of wrap your head around, but really at the end of the day, when you create a short position, you're ultimately perceiving the given currency or commodity to be going down in value. And when you buy it, you're perceiving the given commodity to be going up in value. So that's how the short and long positions differ. So here we created a short position, meaning, hopefully this makes sense by now, that we would perceive it as going down in value. Fortunately for us, we did analyze the market well enough here to predict a drop. So Euro USD did drop in value. It was at 1.06, and then it dropped down to 1.059, meaning that this whole area right here, you can see my highlighter right now, this whole area is all profit right now that we would have made on the trade because we created that short position right here at this level. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. That's essentially how you create just a very, very simple trade at its most basic level on our platform. So we're going to move in and we're going to get a little bit more into it right now. So trends and consolidation. So sorry, let me get rid of this highlighter right here. Erase that. Perfect. Okay, so let's go back. So trends and consolidation. That's what I was talking about right here. So how do we know that the market was ultimately going to go down, that creating a short position was the right move to make at that specific time? Through trends and consolidation. So what is that? Whenever you see the market moving in one way or another, it generally follows this zigzag pattern that we call a trend. And that's an uptrend right here. On the reverse side, if it was going down, it would be a downtrend. But it seems to always follow this kind of three-prong approach where individuals buy and then ultimately it consolidates and then they buy and it consolidates and then they buy and it consolidates once again. Normally at the third prong, it gets out of this trend period and then the massive ultimately market swing takes place where it moves back down. So that's an overall market trend that does happen very periodically, and it has to do with ultimately the buying and the selling in the market. When something's going up in value, individuals get worried and they sell. And then it's going down in value, they think it's a great time to buy, so they start buying it, which ultimately causes it to go up in value. Remember that it's this buying and selling that ultimately causes the euro or whatever currency or commodity we're looking at to ultimately change in value. It's always dependent on market sentiment and the buying and selling properties. So this trend line right here, this is a different trend line. if we go back to the euro on this side, you can see this trend line is very prevalent right here. So that was a really important trend, and it's absolutely fundamental in the sense that it was a three-prong, and then as soon as we hit it, we sold it, and we were able to make money on that approach. So that's one way of doing it. The other big way of doing it is following news or economic dockets being released. So say we know in the near future that the Canadian GDP will ultimately be going up in value. We know this through different analysis we've done of fundamental charts in the past few days. So we tell our traders, look, Canadian GDP is about to be announced at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We expect it to actually be going up. So when GDP goes up, ultimately the dollar will be going up as well. So it's a great time to buy and then sell afterwards because we perceive it as going up in value. So that's taking advantage of market sentiment and news that will be released sometime in the future. We'll get over to that in just a bit and show you guys an economic calendar, but those are the two ways. Ultimately, trends and consolidation and market analysis is the two ways that you can take advantage of Forex trades on our system. So what may seem a little confusing will get way easier once we actually start making the trades itself. I just wanted to show you guys ultimately how to make a trade on the very basic sense of it. So stop losses and take profits. These are extremely important. Like I said, if you don't have it, it really increases your chance of risk on a trade that you take. So we're ultimately moving out of the how to place a trade, and we're getting into a little more fundamental analysis of minimizing your risk and ensuring profit. So this is what a stop loss and a take profit looks like. You'll see that the sell is on the, we have a short position, meaning that we've sold it. So we perceive it as ultimately going down. If it goes down, that means profit for us, right? So that's why it's called a take profit on the bottom right here. You'll see that that's our profit line. So if the market line that's currently at 100, if it were to hit 99.85, we would be up 270 US dollars. And reversely, if the market were to swing against our favor and went up to 100.68, we would be down $439. So that's a stop loss and a take profit. Once these are initialized, and it's very easy to do, it essentially allows the market to automatically buy or sell your commodity at that guaranteed price in order to actually guarantee you the profit on the trade or minimize the amount of loss that you're willing to incur on the trade on the other side. So if the market, I place my trade like I did Euro USD just a second ago. I don't want to be looking at the platform for the next hour or the next day in anticipation of the market moving one way or another. I want to be able to walk away from my computer and do my other job, go have dinner or walk the dog, whatever need be. So what you do is you ultimately create a stop loss and a take profit. So if there are these massive swings in the market when you're not watching, you either bank on your profit. So if this line goes down and I didn't have a take profit here, and all of a sudden it goes back up, I just missed an opportunity to make profit, right? Because if this were to go down and I didn't have a stop loss here, I would be profitable. I would be up currently in my account, but nobody would be there to initiate the trade to allow that profit to get into my overall balance. That's why if you have that take profit there, it does it automatically in the system. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. And on the reverse end, the stop loss allows you to ultimately minimize the amount of risk you're taking by ensuring that as soon as you hit that level, the trade is canceled and you incur a little bit of loss, but it's way better in the long run, because if it were to move in a massive direction, then you could be looking at a very negative account balance when you log back onto that computer, which is not what you want. So we're going to do this all in a demonstration in just a few seconds, guys. So if it still is not making any sense, don't worry, we're going to go back over it. So buy and sell limits. This is a little bit more on the advanced side of the system right now. So if you're not following me through this, don't worry. It's just a way to take advantage of consolidations and trends in the system. So buy limit is pretty fantastic. It allows you to actually create an order in the system. So say the market right here, you guys can see, I have a buy limit set at 1.05813. Let me get my spotlight out so you can see it. 150813. That's my buy limit. So what I have right here, the market's currently at 1.0610, right here. So my buy limit is when I believe, because you can see this kind of zigzag pattern almost forming right now, right? It's at the first prong. So the market should move like that and move down, or move back up, hit that buy limit, and then jump right up again, right? So when I hit that buy limit, when the market moves down and hits that point of 10581, I currently have a line set up that will ultimately strike a position in the market. So it'll ultimately create a long position in the market as soon as that line hits. And these two lines up here, this point and that point, are my stop loss and take profit that I already have in the system. So this allows you to kind of place an order in the system and then walk away from your computer knowing if that limit is hit, it ultimately creates a position and then ultimately a stop loss and a take profit at the same time. You see my SL and my TP are already set up there. So I could walk away from my computer knowing that if it hits this limit, the whole system will do it automatically. So it's a little bit more advanced. Like I said, we're going to do one in the system as an example. So if it's still not making any sense, don't worry, guys. The best way is through visual. So hopefully that ends up working out. So let's get on the platform here. So welcome to the xStation platform. If you haven't been on it, this is the overall main first screen that you see like we were going over before. These markets are, of course, all in real time. You can see the money moving. This is my demo account, of course. Your balance is always here on the left-hand side of the screen. Let me get out my spotlight again. Always on the left-hand side of the screen here, guys. You can see that's your balance. That's the current profit you're running. This is where all your trades will end up. And this is obviously the market for any particular currency or commodity. This is currently the Aussie dollar against the US dollar, right? So how much, essentially, how much dollars would it take, how many American dollars would it take to purchase a unit of Australian dollars? Right now, it's 76 cents. So let's get going and let's make some trades here, wasting no more time. So let's first start off with just a simple trade, and we'll go from there. Let's go to Euro USD, everyone's favorite right now. Currently at a bit of a low. You can see this, there's no really trends or consolidations in the market right now when you compare the dollar because it's had such an eventful week. There's massive movements caused by the meeting of the FOMC earlier this week. I'm sure everyone's heard of it, that has followed the market. There were some absolutely massive fluctuations for a lot of different reasons. The FOMC said that they were going to remove the word patience from interest rates, so interest rate expectations went up, but it didn't go up as much as expected. So anyways, it caused this massive vibration in the market for anything that was being compared currently to the US dollar. So not to get too fundamental with it, but let's just move into actually opening up some positions. So let's do Euro USD. It's everyone's favorite, everyone. So seems to me like it's at currently a market bit of a low right now after reaching that high yesterday. It's kind of more or less consolidated. So let's go ahead and create a long position. So what happens when you create a long position? That means you buy it. What happens when you buy it? You're ultimately perceiving the market to be going up in the near future. So we're perceiving the euro to be valued higher in the near future if we're taking out a buy position. So make sure to remember that, guys. When you click on the blue button right here, you're creating a buy position. When you click on the red button here, you're creating a sell position or a short position. So this, with the blue position, we obviously perceive it as going up in value, and that's how we're going to make our profit on the trade. So how you create a larger or smaller contract is through the lots here. Currently 10 is a massive lot. Standard contract is just around 5 lots. Sorry, we're at 1 lot is standard, 5 lots is big, and let's then you can get into micro if you need to as well. So let's create a pretty sizable one. Let's do a 5 lot contract. That's a good size. That will allow us to feel any sort of vibrations in the market. And let's buy it, go long. So that's it. You just need to press the blue button here, guys, and it ultimately creates your order immediately in the system. So right now we have a buy position in the system. You'll see it's that orange line right now. Because of the spread, we're obviously down a bit, but we obviously expect that to change. So let's give ourselves a little bit of room to work with here. Again, all the scales are adjustable. So what next, guys? Do we leave the trade alone? Absolutely not. We need to make a stop loss and a take profit. That is ultimately how we are going to manage our risk and ultimately ensure profit. So we want the market to be moving up, correct? So our take profit will be thus on the top, and our stop loss will be thus on the bottom, because if the market moves down, we'll be negative, but if it moves up, we'll be in the money. So in order to create that stop loss and take profit, it's very simple. You just click on the orange line right here. So you see this orange line, when you put your cursor over it, it highlights. Just click on that, and you'll see the white and blue stop loss and take profit line come up. So like I said, the take profit is currently on the top of the screen right now because we have a long position. So to simply do it, you just click and you drag. So you see that the higher I get, the higher my profit margin is, obviously, right? Because that is all just, that whole white area is just profit. So I feel pretty good about the euro going back up after this massive consolidation period. So let's put it right in here. This would be a very profitable trade if it manages to get to this point. It would give us about $6,000 in profit. So that's definitely feasible. So you just click yes after you have dragged and dropped, and that's it. The whole thing is set up. So let's now create a stop loss, because just in case the market moves against us, we want to ensure that we don't have too much skin in the game and that we ultimately come out virtually unscathed. So it's always best when you're creating a stop loss and a take profit to make sure your take profit is double. Thus, you account for any sort of market swings, and if you're using a 50-50%, if you're not exactly following the market, you're always going to come out on top. So let's put it at just about half here. Just drag and drop, click yes. And just like that, we created a trade, we created a stop loss, we created a take profit, and we are set to go. We can go do whatever we want now, guys. We can go make dinner, we can go to the gym, we can go walk our dogs, we can go to work. We can do whatever we want. The system's going to take this trade and work it for us now, which is absolutely fantastic. And very, very simple. You just got to click, drag, and drop. You can't get more simple than that, guys. Let's do one more position here. We'll do Aussie dollar, US dollar. Don't want to do that. No, let's do something else. Let's do USD CAD because it's going to be reversed in a sense. Okay, cool. So it's up here right now. Let's create a short position just to do something different. So short position, if you want to essentially perceive the market as ultimately going down in value, meaning that the US dollar is going to go down against the Canadian dollar, or the Canadian dollar is going to be valued higher within the next day or so, or whatever you guys think, you ultimately press the red button. The red button is the sell button or the short button. So let's go ahead and do that. So again, just like that, as soon as you click that button, the trade is thus executed. So we have that short position currently lined up in the market. So let's just wait for my screen to go down here. So do we leave it alone? Of course we do not. We want to create a stop loss and a take profit. So again, to do that, you simply put your cursor over the orange line. You'll see it come up as highlighted. You'll see the highlighted orange line. Simply click on it. Because we created a short position, our take profit is thus going to be on the bottom of the screen because we want the market to be moving downward, right? That whole area here will be profit for us. If the market moves upward, then we'll be in the negative. That'll be negative currently. So let's move the take profit downward. And we'll create just around this mark, just around $3,000 in profit. So just like that, drag and drop, click yes. That's executed. And now for the stop loss, ultimately we want to make sure that our risk is, of course, minimized on the trade just in case the market does move against us. So let's do that. So obviously always make it half, guys. So we'll put it just up to about half here. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then just click yes. So we've done it again. That was extremely simple, guys. Within about, I'd say 2 to 3 minutes, we just created 2 positions in the market. We created a short position. We created a long position. We created a extremely strategy-based stop loss and take profit on both the trades. Thus, we are set up and good to go. So let's create a buy limit or a sell limit just to show you guys how to do that too. I definitely recommend if it does come out as a little bit confusing for a buy or a sell limit, jump on your demos, see if that makes a little bit more sense. Obviously, that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. If anything's still confusing, just jump onto your demo accounts. It's all pretend money or fake money, if you will, at the end of the day, guys. So what's the harm in trading it? So to make a buy limit or a sell limit, meaning that we don't, we want to create a buy position here, but we think the market is still bound to move downward, okay? So say this is moving on a zigzag pattern, and we don't think the trend is finished yet. We think that the market's still going to move to just about, sorry, let me get this out of the way here, just to about 1.4642 before it starts moving back up again. So we don't want to create our buy position right now, right? Because we still perceive the market as moving downward before it starts moving upward. So that's a great position for a buy order. So in order to do that, you just click on this little squiggly line right here, and then you'll see this come up. So when you see this screen come up, you know you're in the buy order or the sell order position. So like I said, we perceive the market as still moving down before it moves back up. So we perceive it as moving down to maybe 1.462 before it starts moving up to that level. So in order to do that, you simply click on it, and then it's automatically executed. In order to switch it to a sell or a buy, you click spacebar, or sorry, you click shift to reverse it, and then spacebar when you're finished. So if you want to switch it to a sell, very easy, you just click shift. I said that I wanted it as a buy because I still perceive the market is moving down before it moves up. So my take profit is on the top and my stop loss is on the bottom. So now that the position is created, of course, the system wants you to create a take profit and a stop loss. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put my take profit up to just around this line right here and my stop loss just below it. You might need to work with a bit more room here. Okay, perfect. So now you actually get into your actual order. So this is where you can change the ultimate lots. Do you want to do 4, 5? 5 is what we've been doing, so let's keep it at that. Everything looks right. So let's place the order. So the order is placed. You'll see that's my line right there. As soon as the market line hits my orange line, it will automatically strike the trade. If you click on it, you'll see your take profit and your stop loss already initiated. And again, this is all adjustable. You can adjust it anytime you want. Even during the trade, you can do it whatever you want. If we go back to USD CAD, our trade here, if I wanted to ultimately change up our take profit or our stop loss, it's very easy. You just drag and drop the whole time. Okay, so we just did what we set out to do, guys. I really hope that that all made sense. It's definitely a lot to take in. But the next step for all of you, for sure, is that if you guys want to start getting better at these different little strategies and these little tactics, just jump on those demo accounts and just start trying things out. It's the best way to learn when you ultimately, make a mistake here or there. Who cares? The demo accounts are all just practice money at the end of the day, guys. So it's ultimately the best way to do it. So let's hop back onto the presentation for just a second, then I'll get you guys going on your way. So, like I said, consolidation and trends are one way to make money in the system, but the other way to make money in the system is to always have an eye on that economic calendar. What's going on currently this week? Well, tomorrow we have a big announcement coming from Canada. Big shout out to all the Canadians out there. The Bank of Canada Consumer Price Index will be coming out on Friday. As of right now, they perceive it as actually going up in value. You'll see the difference here, 2.1% to 2.2. Thus, Friday could mark a big day for the loonie. Which is absolutely huge, right, guys? Because if we know that a certain news docket or economic docket is coming out higher than expected, that will more than likely cause the loonie to ultimately increase in value. If we know that news is coming out, then we can ultimately take advantage of it and make some profit on it. So we are more than happy to help you guys set that up. In order to take advantage of our analyst services through Skype, through phone, and whatnot, you do need a live account set up. So it's very easy to set up a live account. You can keep your demo account running in case you ever want to do it. But there is a chat box on the right-hand side of the screen you guys will have here. If you do want your account rep to help you with any sort of walkthrough or anything like that, more than happy to do that. Just give us a note and we'll make sure your account rep gets in touch with you. Moving forward just a second here, we do have a huge classroom setting with our next semester starting this coming Monday. So our classroom setting is extremely cool. It covers a lot of different lessons. There's about 9 or 10 different modules it covers. But the main 3 areas are fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and money management. A lot of things we just covered in the webinar today, but it's going to go into it in way more depth. Normally it takes students about 3 weeks to complete the course, but it's 24 hours. It's online access. You can do it at your own pace and do it whenever you need. The course is very affordable. It's only $30 to attend the course, and we immediately give you access. Our pros will help you out on every step of the way. We've had nothing but satisfaction with people graduating from the course. So the next semester does start this coming Monday. To those of you with live accounts, it's actually free of charge to attend it. So if you do have an account with something as low as $100, you automatically have access to the account. Having said that, I'm going to stick around for a bit right now. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask them into the question box on the right-hand side of the screen. If you would like an account rep to walk you through a course application, we are more than happy to do that, or a live application. Just make sure to give me a note. If also there was anything that was unclear in the webinar itself, please feel free to ask me a question as well, guys. I'll make sure to stick around and answer all the ones that were asked throughout right now. But from all of us here at Currency House, my name is Matthew Dyer. I really hope you enjoyed today's webinar. Again, the best thing to do and my best recommendation is to just jump on those demo platform, guys. test some of the stuff we've been working on out. See what you're comfortable with doing, see what you're not comfortable with doing. It's going to go a long way in allowing you to ultimately be a pro trader. So from all of us here at Currency House, best of luck trading, guys. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again.